So if I focus on three principal blocks for value creation and where India is mirrored today, I think in last 10 years, India has come a great way in all of this. On the growth rate, I think we have lifted not just growth rate per se, but our capability to achieve growth rate. So there is a base and there is a foundation which is very strong today on which to build a sustained superior growth rate. Because without that growth, no real value can be created. Second, and which is rooted into significant reforms which have occurred over last 10 years. And very importantly, these reforms have been interconnected. Therefore, they have built an ecosystem of their own. They are not one-off. They are not in silos, but they are interconnected, and therefore, it is leading to rising crescendo where these reforms are connected together to build a kind of a virtuous cycle. Whether it is in the revolution in the payment infrastructure of the country, digital payment infrastructure, embrace of technology in everything that goes in the country, the huge improvement in the physical infrastructure which has been made, energy transition, the greening of the energy, and among the most important strides that India has made in that direction, starting and building in the manufacturing ecosystem of the country, many other reforms, including kickstarting genuine entrepreneurial revolution, because no great value creation in any country can happen without the entrepreneur ecosystem being very strong. And I think it is not just the startup ecosystem, which is one of the most vibrant ones in the world today, but all forms of entrepreneurship is visible in the way new companies are coming to the markets on an almost ongoing basis, which is nothing but the proof of the entrepreneurship flourishing and receiving great amount of support. So when these reforms, if they were to be in silos and not deep and not interconnected, at best would have produced an arithmetic outcome. But when they are all interconnected and they are built strategically, they become a kind of a virtuous cycle. And therefore, growth has become durable and not short-term. Growth has become predictable and not really an accidental happenstance or a chance. And growth has become resilient because important building blocks exist so that even if challenges come by, like in last 2 years, we are seeing many parts of the world that conflict with each other, and yet India's ecosystem continues to chug along at a much superior rate compared to the rest of the world. And that's again not an accidental outcome. It has happened because a lot of things have happened at the backdrop of it. And finally, the capital efficiency or the character of the growth or the quality of growth. First time last year, return on equity in India became number 1 in the world. This medal always belonged to the America. For decades, American corporate ecosystem has always produced the highest capital efficiency for decades and decades. And therefore, no surprise that American markets have remained at the forefront of great value creation over a long period of time. But for the first time, return on equity of Indian corporate segment has exceeded that of America, and I think it is a great foretelling of a situation which is going to unfold before us over the coming decade, if not decades. The balance sheets have become stronger. Debt equity ratio of the Indian corporate sector pre-COVID, 5 years back, was 80 units of borrowing to 100 units of net worth. That number today, with a strong growth over this 5-year period, has actually come down to half, 40 units of borrowing to 100 units of net worth. ROCEs have risen and have touched number 1 in the world. Return on equity has risen and has become number 1 in the world. Balance sheets, both of the lenders and borrowers, have never been healthier than ever before in my 35 years of observing equity markets in this country. And finally, and very, very importantly, the great belief, self-belief about the destiny of the businesses and destiny of this country, without which no investment in a business can occur, without which no investment in equities can occur. And I think, therefore, the 3 vital building blocks all are in place in India today to create a very strong rising crescendo of value creation.